Hi, and welcome to the first ever video blog of the Shared Earth Living Book Club. Welcome. Thank you for joining me. So this is a book club for people who want to connect more deeply with the land, with the earth, with nature, with plants, and just become more earth-centered humans in general. And if you're anything like me and have dreams of one day living in the countryside, leaving the city, and living closer to the earth, and also a feeling that another way has to be possible. There must be a different way of being in the world that is not, this capitalist growth society that we're in now. Then you're in the right place, because this is my search, this is my dream. And what I want to do is read the books that help nurture this dream so that I can become this dream. So the first book that I would love to invite you to read with me is this one, The Unlikely Peace at Cuchumaquic. Now, I may not be pronouncing that correctly. And the subtitle is The Parallel Lives of People as Plants by Martín Prechtel. So what I'd like to do for this video is just introduce you a little bit to the book, to the author, tell you a little bit about what the book is about, and why I think this is such a great book to read if you've got similar dreams to me. And maybe by the end of it, you'll be convinced that you want to read it with me. So I came across this book on Instagram one day because one of my permaculture teachers from the course that I did spoke about it. And she spoke about how this guy was one of her greatest teachers. So intrigued, I went to check out who this guy was. And this was one of the books that I stumbled across. And I really liked the look of it. The title really intrigued me, and I bought it, and it's been in my house ever since. I've been waiting for the perfect opportunity to be able to share it with other people, because as I started reading the preface, there was so much wisdom in it. Every word felt like it contained so much that I really had to kind of sit with it and digest it and kind of take it in on a deeper level. I realized that this is really powerful stuff. This isn't the kind of stuff that you just get in any old book. I find that this kind of analysis of a text is much more conducive when it's done with other people. So you can bounce ideas off each other and things like this. Hence why I've decided to start this book club and use this as the first book. Also, I just loved everything that I read in the first few pages. It just nourished me in a way that I hadn't felt for a long time. So I'm hoping that in sharing this book with you, it can do the same for you as well. So let's talk a little bit about who Martín Prechtel is. So he is a mixed blood Native American with a Pueblo Indian upbringing. He's a teacher, an artist, and a writer. He was also a full-time member of a Mayan community in Guatemala, where he was one of the village leaders responsible for teaching the young people in the village about the importance of their traditional cultural stories. Did this through rituals and rites of passage. And now what he does is he helps people like me and you remember the indigenous soul. And this is something that really speaks to me. Being from England, one of the biggest, if not the biggest colonizers of the world, my cultural perspective has always been us looking out as the conquerors at the rest of the world. And now, considering the state that the world is in, I'm beginning to ask myself, maybe there's more to the story than the one that I've been told, basically. Considering the ecological disasters that we have right in front of us, it seems natural to look towards those who have been living on this planet for millennia in complete harmony with nature in a completely sustainable way. So in reading this book, I really want to put aside my own cultural heritage and kind of discover what else is there in the world except for this Western capitalist colonial mentality that I've been brought up in. So upon opening this book, what you're going to find is that this guy does not have the typical Western mindset, as I've already said. So what he's able to give us is a reflection of our own culture viewed through the eyes of those in which we've dominated, or our ancestors dominated, our culture dominated, assuming you're from a similar cultural background than I am. And hey, maybe it's nothing of the sort. But for me, this is very, the way that he writes it is very clear cut. It can be a bit startling, but it's also very refreshing, because it's like, you know, within our own cultures, we can't always put our fingers on what our culture really is, because it's so close to us. It's so intimate. And what he's able to do is say this, and this. And it's like, oh yeah, you're right. It's exactly that. Thank you. It's like putting words to some things that have felt cloudy for me for a long time. So if you do decide to take this journey with me into this, in the indigenous mind of Martín Prechtel, I must warn you, it's a bit of a big one. It's not, you know, a quick read on the aeroplane kind of book. This is the kind of book that you commit to. And I have to say, at first thoughts, I thought to myself, maybe this isn't the best book to start this book club. Maybe something smaller, more manageable, just to see whether I can do it or not. You know, there's 22 chapters in this book. But I think that's the whole point of this book club, is to get us away from this modern mentality of, you know, superficial thinking, not having a big enough attention span to take in any really profound information, no depth of thinking, no depth of thought. Are people really going to have the commitment and the staying power to join me as I go through this book for 22 chapters? I don't know. But this is my invitation to you, whether you want to come with me, read it with me, or dip in and out, that's completely fine by me. But this is the kind of book that transforms you, that I know. I've only read the first few chapters and I'm already feeling something changing, something shifting within me. And this, for me, tells me that I'm on the right track. If you're up for it, get yourself a copy. I'm going to be making short video blogs like this one, going through the different chapters. Let me know if you're interested in coming with me. I'd love to hear your thoughts and your comments. I will see you for the next video for chapter 1. Okay. Maybe if you, just as me, no, cut. Maybe you have dreams just as, no, cut. Maybe you have, no, cut, stop, cut, stop. And maybe you have, no, cut.